What's up, everybody? It's Alan the Kraken, and today the out of print news has everybody wondering if they're gonna cash in. Well, I don't know, man. It's hard to say if people are gonna be able to cash in. First off, you have a very large supply still in the market. It is drying up day by day. There are cards in Crucible of War that are going to be used. Um, there's a lot of staples. There's a lot of future staples, and what I mean by that is you have cards that are like cash in that say, hey, you may destroy 4 coppers, 2 silvers, or 1 gold you control rather than pay cash in's cost. And then, if you are able to do that, you get to draw 2 cards for free if you meet that requirement and go again. So, this has always been one of my favorite arts of all time within this game. I just love this art. Um, I can't wait to get to the pits. I can't wait to get into um, a lot of the lore that surrounds Cavdane. Um, it's incredible. There's just so much that happens in Crucible of War that just gets glossed over that we're going to only learn about in future sets and future lore reveals. Um, this definitely opens up people getting the idea that, hey, Welcome to Wraith could stop being printed, and Arcane Rising could stop being printed. And I will say that it's likely not going to happen anytime soon. If it does, I would say that maybe WTR might get an announcement by maybe before December, maybe in December, just to draw some additional hype for the holiday season. But if they don't by then, I would not expect Welcome to Wraith Unlimited being out of print at least until July of next year, would be my guess. And that's because they want to have draftable boxes. Ooh, that was a foily one. Um, yeah. Some of these people don't even look. I just found a foil one in my non-foils, so very cool. Um, yeah, it's going to be very, very interesting to see what happens to Crucible of War. One of the things I want to bring up is that there was an unlimited Fable buyout recently, and I'm wondering if someone had insider knowledge of Crucible of War going out of print. Um, if they did not spec on Shiana, which is interesting, because Shiana was still at like $60 when this news dropped. I'm sure now it's up to 200, but when the news dropped, Shiana was at like 60, $68. Um, so I want to say that if someone heard something and they were doing a buyout, um, I would say that they would have to be connected with someone in New Zealand, and they would have to be living in the U.S. because a lot of the product is here in the U.S. So they would either have to pay for international shipping for all those packages, buying off of TCG Player, but more than likely there's a mule involved. So that's an interesting little rabbit hole that we could go down. But just for today, we're going to focus on the positive. The positive being that this is going to wake up the entire flesh and blood market. Um, we're already seeing people that we haven't seen in months just come out of the woodwork and be like, hey, I heard this was out of print now. Is that true? Yes, it is. Crucible of War is out of print for Unlimited and First Edition. You cannot get Crucible of War anymore, to my knowledge, unless they reprint individual cards. Knowing that, I did place myself at extreme risk of purchasing this many cash-ins for my personal collection. I have no intention of selling these for the next 10 years. So, if there is a day that comes along where I do have to part with some of these, you can be sure that they will be affordable. And if you ask me individually and say, hey, I just want 3 to play with, I'll probably send you 3 to play with if you're that desperate. But for the most part, I'm holding on to these. And some of you are gonna be mad at me for even posting this video, but let me say this in my defense, right? I've been buying these up the entire time. I didn't buy these up today. I didn't buy these up months ago. I've been buying cash in every single day since Crucible of War First Edition. That is why I have so many in hand. It is not like I just had this stuff airdropped to me from TCG Player, like, within hours. And then I also want to say that I did not manipulate the market at all. So how could I buy out this much without manipulating the market? Well, I overpaid for some of them. So in markets, you have a scenario, right, where you have a person that has a large supply that puts like 30 of these up for sale. Well, let's say that they put 30 up for sale, but then they put 20 cents on there. Now, instead of paying $4.99 for shipping, for 20 cards individually, I can buy up those 20 cards for 20 cents and pay $4.99 shipping for those 20 cards. So, that's something that you guys should probably pay attention to when you're in TCG Player, is like, hey, if I'm going to help out the market here, maybe I should take out some of these walls. I call them walls. So if you have a guy that has 20 of these listed for 20 cents, and his shipping is like $4.99, go buy them up. They're 20 cents. You're going to pay $4.99 shipping, but you're going to knock down a wall that's just going to accelerate the market down the line. So yeah, we have some beautiful cards. And we're not even done. Ooh, we got some copper. Very nice. It's, this whole thing is very, very interesting. It's going to be a very interesting experiment. People are probably going to FOMO here in the next day or so for some singles, right? I think people are going to buy up a lot of singles. We already saw that with Shiana, so I think that Legend Story Studios is going to watch this announcement very carefully. I mean, very carefully. And see how they're going to approach these out-of-print announcements in the future. I actually like what they did. They waited. Not many people knew. I mean, obviously someone had to know. But not many people knew. And in my eyes, this is a very successful announcement. A lot of people are excited. There's a small percentage of skepticism, which is normal. I mean, all card games are highly sus. If you just look at the PWCC things that are going on. But, yeah, there's a lot of sus things out there. But this is definitely a win for Legend Story Studios. Today is a win, is a win, is a win. And I hope a lot of you were able to cash in on this opportunity. That is Flesh and Blood. It is a investable game. Some of the Unlimited is now investable. Crucible of War Unlimited is now investable. That is so weird to say. Again, you have to be careful because you have Fyendel Spring Tunic that is reprinted in multiple sets, so I could definitely see LSS doing a pits and then redoing a different version of cash-in with a different art. Or maybe they even keep the same art. I don't know what they'll do. But I promise you, this small pile of cash-ins does not affect the market in the slightest. This is a very, very small drop in the very, very large bucket and pool of cash-in that is available on the market now. Like I said, I overpaid for most of these. I bought up the sellers that had like 20 to 30, sometimes 10 to 20, and I just bought them up because I don't like having like these big, what do you call them, mass box openers. I don't like them having like these giant walls in the market that just slows everything down and makes everything stagnant. So I took them down. I crumbled their walls. Y'all have a wonderful day. Remember to have fun. Peace.